I felt fairly liberated because there's been so many versions of it in the past and so many different illustrators illustrating it and musicians and song, so there's such a wealth of sort of inspiration based on this material, for other mediums that, like I said, I felt more liberated to kind of go, okay, that's all there. Let's do our version. Let's try to, we had our feelings about how to keep true to the spirit of what the Carol characters were, and try to do them justice. And, again, past versions have always kind of, the girls being just kind of passive, aggressive, just kind of standing around, a bunch of weirdos. And so even though everybody's mad in this, we tried to find each give them a little specific form so that they all are crazy, but different in that way. They all had their own unique craziness.
No, don't do that! Hey! Oh dear.
Working with Tim was really wonderful, and he definitely, because a lot of, as an actor in this film, you're kind of in the dark because you are filming in a green screen and you're filming in a bit of a void. So it was really just about trusting him, and he was great in explaining what was going on and what it would look like and how, and the tone of what was going on, and, which was vital to know.
This is,
From Umbridge.
What happened to your clothes?
I outgrew them. I've been growing an awful lot lately. I tower over everyone in Umbridge. They laugh at me. So I've come to you, hoping you might understand what it's like.
My dear girl, anyone with a head that large is welcome in my court. Someone find us some clothes. Use the curtains if you must, but clothes this enormous girl.
Well, I did all my stuff in a sound studio with Tim in Britain and America, and we just worked, and I had someone come in and read the Alice lines, not Mia, but somebody else. And so it was very much about Tim supplying me with all the information about what was going on. I had all the artwork, all the conceptual design work that he gave me, and the script, of course. And so it was then building on that and working on that, and I was filmed doing all the dialogue, but of course I didn't have the other actors around me whilst I was doing it. But I didn't have to wear the green suit or do any of that stuff. But they did film me and saw all my hand movements and facial expressions and stuff. They were there to help the animation.
You didn't have to bounce around like a rabbit?
I didn't. I offered. I came in my rabbit suit, but which I have got, but they didn't need me to do that, unfortunately. But it was very different from that.
Yeah, I had the 10 weeks of being in a green suit.
Right.
And very fetching green lycra. And but you could see my face, you see, so everything else was captured and animated over. Right. But my face was exposed, and so they've matted my face onto those characters. And then there was another actor called Ethan Cohen who played whichever Tweedle I wasn't playing, and then we'd swap around. So I did my scenes with Mia, with Johnny and Anne and Helena.
The first time I saw it with everything together, all the actors, sort of, the people that I was talking to in the film, first time I actually saw them replying to me was last night when I saw the film for the first time, which was great. It was like seeing something both very familiar and yet very unfamiliar at the same time.
Did you steal my tarts?
No, Your Majesty.
Squimberry juice.
I was so hungry! I didn't mean to.
Linda was, it was like she invented a whole new world and with a whole new language, and it was like airtight. What I love about it, it's like the culture of it and the oraculum and the Fragister and all the, all the vocabulary and the Jabberwocky and the Bandersnatch and the whole hierarchy and political hierarchy. It's but a lot of it's, she's taken like, it's no you.
No, I was just going to say Kaloo Kalay is one of my favorite exclamations, and I loved that, when I got to that part of the script, when everyone,
Did you what's the word, recognize that from?
Yeah.
God,
when I was in school, we had to memorize and recite the Jabberwock.
Oh,
so
right, okay.
It was very fun. So, of course, I was kind of a ham when I was a kid, so I got really into the Kaloo Kalay.
Kaloo Kalay.
He chortled in his joy.
She did a lot from Jabberwock. That's where she got outlandish from the Jabberwocky, from the poem.
As you can see, we're still having tea. And it's all because I was at my special time waiting for your return. You're terribly late, you know. Naughty.
Time can be funny in dreams.
Yes, of course. But now you're back, you see. And we need to get on to the Frabjous Day.
Flabby Majesty!
It's so easy with this material to just be a kind of a kooky, woohoo, you know, kind of a Mad Hatter. And, you know, so he'd do lots of research. And it's in Carroll's, you know, like things like investigating the letter M. You know, what he was meaning by that was mercury poisoning, because the hatters of the day, you know, that's where that term mad as a hatter came from. So, you know, Carroll had all these things under the surface, which, you know, even though we didn't really use in the movie, but there's a, yeah, it's a Disney movie. We don't focus on mercury poisoning. You know, it still helps him and the other actors try to find their character and, again, find the depth that they're different from the other weirdos in the movie.
Pinch of worm fat. Urine of the horsefly. 3 coins from a dead man's pocket. 2 teaspoons of wishful thinking. That should do it.
It was very spontaneous, so every time we do a new scene, we hadn't rehearsed it or anything, which was kind of great because then you could react to it for the first time as if it was actually, you know, I never knew what to expect, and it was always changing, and it was never really the same twice, and that was always exciting, kind of kept me on my toes.